get some epic drums. Welcome everyone, my name is Kendall Johnson and welcome to the Midi Guitarist Channel. With this channel, it is dedicated for guitarists who want to learn film scoring, write film scoring music, or get better at virtual instruments but aren't very good at piano. And so they want to use their guitar to control the MIDI and make life easier for you. Now, as I've said in past videos, what we're doing is we're featuring one new library every week from a different developer, and we're just seeing how that library responds to the MIDI pickup of the Boss GM800 and the Boss GK5 pickups. And so you'd be surprised to know, as I've said in other videos, some libraries work really good and others have a little bit of quirks in them. And so my goal is to share that with you, and you get to decide if this is the route for you, or just so you know what you're getting into with everything. So on that note, let's dive in. So today we are actually featuring Hammers by Spitfire Audio. It's one of my favorite drum libraries. I think it sounds fantastic. I'm a huge Charlie Clouser fan. I remember his score in Death Sentence years and years and years ago. I thought it was just fantastic. And so it's one of those ones that, you know, with a lot of other composers, I'm like, I want to be a film composer. That's awesome. And so there's really no rhyme and reason to this in terms of specific notes. For the guitarist, for you, if you're like, hey, I want to control drums and do that type of thing, to be honest with you, it might be better to use piano because you get more of a natural drum rhythm type thing. But that's still not going to stop me from featuring percussion libraries with guitar, because you might really just, I hate piano, Kendall, and I don't want to touch it. So I'd rather use my guitar. So, hey, we're going to use our guitar. We're going to hear how it sounds. So we're going to go through each of the libraries, and we're just going to see how it goes. Now with the first one, I'm using the ensemble patch, and you can see, first of all, you can see I've actually added a MIDI modifier, dropped it down an octave, just so I can get some of those low hits. And even still, I could probably knock it down a few more semitones. Just to get those extra other notes, but I believe it's the same drum, so I don't think it's the end of the world. But you know, I'm going to do it just so we can say we've done it, and so no one has any questions. Because someone might have a question, and they'll add it to the comment, and then I can go back and re-record the video. So I got to do a couple more down, just so we can make sure we get those notes. There we go. Sounds like noise. It actually is fun, and it's fun to play, and you're just creating rhythms, and that's really the goal of this is, hey, can I create drum rhythms with some of the music that I want to do? Like, it's actually fun. It's like, this is actually fun to do, and it's fun to play. Things are going to get kind of funky is if you want to do some of the flams, roughs, rolls, things like that. You're obviously not going to play all flams or all roughs, or you're not going to play all rolls. You know, let's see how the you can hear that. So it works great. What I'm probably going to do if I'm a guitarist, and for this episode I'm going to focus on just the hits, because you're just I don't know, the way I would incorporate it is I'm writing kind of melodies and stuff, but being played by drums. I don't know if that makes sense, but it kind of makes it fun. It's an interesting way of doing it. And I'm sure I'm probably not triggering certain drums with doing it, but heck, have fun with it. And then as you go through it, if you're missing notes, go back and re-add those ones, that type of thing. But gosh, it sure actually makes it fun to play drums. I don't recommend sending this to an orchestrator of drums and say, hey, I need this transpose, because it's going to look like an absolute mess. But you're having fun. And having fun writing music is the number one thing that I think is awesome. So now we've done the ensembles, we'll just kind of take it from there and go through each one. I'm not going to do the loops because the loops or the warps, it is just a loop. And I'm just saying one thing at a time. And so it's no different than the rolls. You're just saying one note at a time and letting it roll. So we're going to do the actually sounds really good. If you want to, you don't have to move this up. Where's my... There we go. So what these libraries are meant to, they're meant to play in kind of like two hands. So you're two-handed. And so you can, instead of having to use a MIDI modifier, you can come up here. That's the solo damper. Now when we click on the solo open, to be honest with you, the ensemble is a little bit more fun to play than this. But again, I'm showing you how it is. Then the four players. It's actually really responsive and does a really great job. So far, I'm impressed. The Sordos, I think that's how you say it. You the four players. The reason the ensembles is more fun because you kind of get to play music. This I'm kind of stuck to play so much you can do, but it's one of the things I'm finding so far. I like the ensembles. And then just the solo. pretty sweet, I would say. So far, the responsiveness actually is very responsive. You can play drums just fine with the guitar, with the Spitfire library. Now here is the toms. So there's a couple more articulations in this one. Forgot that was a roll. So you can cut that. Yeah, there you go. And then you can go to just rollers, it looks like, or using different. Move to the brushes. I'm not going to do all articulations because it's, they're going to sound the same. And again, it's not a library review. It's how does the guitar respond to the virtual instrument? So we'll keep things moving along here. All right, next up, let's do the rototoms, 4 players. Gosh, it's actually, once you're kind of playing the same notes over and over, so it kind of doesn't feel inspirational with that, but it is actually fun, once you get the kind of groove and hang of it. Super fun. I'll let you know what the frame drums, the solo is. I don't think I introduced this. It's the frame drum is what we're doing. Eat. There you go. Frame drums, again, the same. It feels just fantastic. I actually quite enjoy it. Next up is the snares. Snares on. You get kind of those little flams in there, so you got a. Once you kind of pick up a rhythm and how the articulation is going, you can actually have some fun with the picking. And basically, it's just coming up with your rhythm of what you want to do. And I don't know, I might actually use less keyboard, more guitar, just because I feel like I can actually get the rhythm that I want. Now we're on the Darbukas. Someone might roast me for that on YouTube. Who knows? If I'm saying it wrong, you can comment below, but show love and kindness too. Let's do the 2 players because I like bigger is better for me. So let's do that. It gets kind of, I can hear the notes that I'm picking. I don't know if you can, I think I'm muting that as I'm editing the video together, but it gets kind of annoying that I'm hearing the same notes over and over and over as I'm playing. I'm like, this really has no melody to it. I'm sure if I'm playing with music, those notes are probably going to be wrong from what I'm playing. So it might be like, I'm playing the wrong thing. But you get the idea. You get the idea. All right, and last but not least, we have the scrap. So it's a little more. This is the first one where with a scrap, I probably would use a keyboard just because I can't see myself doing a ton of rhythm with it. But that's me. Doesn't have to be you. It works. It sounds great. Here's some iron. It works pretty great. And then here's the miscellaneous. Well, this is just like everything. I actually don't use the scraps very often, if at all, in any of my compositions. So that's why I'm like, oh, this is like everything. Like, oh, surprised here. So yeah, so I don't really use this patch, but I'm glad to try it. How I use it, just to add a little bit of like a. To me, that's a little bit more fun than. Yeah, I enjoy it. Actually, I'd use that. I use that in my library. So there you have it. So that's the Hammers library by Spitfire Audio. It's one of my Spitfire Audio, and it's one of my favorite drum libraries. I think it sounds fantastic, sounds huge, real in your face, and just. Yeah, I love the punch and I love feeling stuff in my chest when I play. And so that definitely gives me that, which I really appreciate in composition. So thank you. If you're watching and you're new to this channel and you found this helpful, please subscribe, click the alerts, do all those things that people do when they watch YouTube videos, because it tells me it's actually being helpful. And that's really why I did this channel, is to help other guitarists who want to do film scoring or want to incorporate virtual instruments into their music writings, and who may not be very good at piano or just don't want to play piano and want to really use guitar. Maybe you're like me and you played guitar for over 30 years, and piano you're like, I feel like I have to start over. So I'm showing you how this works, how the libraries react differently with the GK5 system. It's actually fascinating to me how each library is different, and I can't wait for us to eventually get to the Hans Zimmer Strings library, because it is my favorite string library, and I feel like it's a little bit all over the place in terms of its playability with this. So just something to be aware of, and that's I badmouth no developers, because it is, all these libraries are fantastic. That's why I'm picking them. That's why I'm featuring them. But it's just interesting how the system reacts that way, or just like how some of the legatos on the first library didn't work, but on the Junkie XL brass, it worked great. And so I find it very interesting is how things are working. So it's a learning experience for me too. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, and blessings of the day.